Top story is still breaking at this hour since about 9:30 tonight. There is a chemical leak, a toxic chemical leak from the Allied Signal plant in North Baton Rouge. It's technically on Lupine Street, but that's right where you see Choctaw swinging off of Chippewa in North Baton Rouge, just north of the Capitol Lakes. The first and most important information is a warning to you folks who live around the plant.
Right. Authorities are calling it a shelter in place. That means don't try to go anywhere in a half-mile area east-northeast of the Allied Signal plant. They're asking you to stay inside, close doors, close windows. If you have air conditioning, turn it off, and above all things, stay tuned to local media for instructions.
Now, it's been like pulling teeth trying to find out what exactly has been leaking from the plant. We are told, first of all, the chemical leak is now under control, though it has not been stopped. It has been described to us by Allied Signal as ammonia Penta-Chloride. Now, you chemists know what that is. We're trying to find out more about it, but we do know that when the first fire units went into the scene, they were warned that even their Scott Air packs might not protect them against this, the Scott Air pack being the breathing device. And a command post is now being set up at Scenic Highway and Chippewa. We expect to switch there in just a few moments.
All right, once again, the half-mile area east-northeast of the Allied Signal plant. You're asked to stay inside your home. You're looking at a live picture of Skycam in that direction tonight. And George, Diane Deaton mentioned something about the wind speed tonight.
That was very important. As fire crews pulled in there, they were told to stay away from the area east-northeast of the plant because of the danger from this leak. Now, those were the early precautions about 9:30 tonight. Again, we're going to tell you what they tell us. It's Antamonium Penta-Chloride. It is obviously a toxic chemical, and as Diane mentioned, the winds are from the southwest, tending to blow this toward the east-northeast. As Donna mentioned, an area of a half a mile around the plant you're being told to stay indoors. We want to look now at the Skycam shot again. This is not something you can see because it is a colorless, odorless gas that is being put into the air tonight. But here's the key point. You look up there, and all those flashing lights you see are police agencies which are pouring into that area around the Allied Signal plant north of Capitol Lake, south of the Exxon plant. No explosion, a leak.
Because of the toxic nature of the gas, though, they are asking for extreme caution right now. We'll have a live update ahead on Louisiana's News Channel from the scene of the Allied Signal toxic chemical leak tonight.
All right, the leak is continuing at the Allied Signal plant. The Baton Rouge Fire Department is in there with plant firemen trying to contain it. It is a dangerous leak, but people around the plant have been told to stay inside, turn off their air conditioners. We do not believe there's an evacuation underway, but we are now going to switch live to WAFB's Monty Danos, who is at the command post about a quarter mile from the plant. Monty?
Actually, George, we're out here at the corner of Chippewa and Scenic. As you can tell, police are rerouting motorists. They don't want them passing anywhere near the Allied plant on Lupine Avenue, that is. We're getting preliminary reports that the leak is under control. However, wind gusts are carrying it in a southwesterly direction. What's being leaked is antimonium pentachloride. And of course, police are suggesting that people stay indoors, turn off their ACs, do anything to avoid the area of where the Allied plant is. And as you mentioned, the command post is at G and Gonzales, and we're being told that we can make it further down there in a little bit. George?
Okay, thanks very much, Monty Danos. Traffic being stopped. At one time, police were talking about closing Interstate 110. That has not been done. And the fact that Monty is at a location now, roughly a quarter to a third of a mile east of the plant is a good sign. He is to the east of the plant. The plant, as you see, is that red dot right under the N and the name Allied Signal. That's on Lupine Avenue. Monty is reporting from a point half a mile or a quarter mile east. Now, we want to point out that he mentions that it is ammonia Penta-Chloride. We have just been told by the fire department now that what they are trying to contain on the plant grounds is the chemical hydrofluoride phenol chloride. We apologize for our lack of knowledge of these. All our notes here are not telling us exactly what it is, but keep in mind it's dangerous. And you should, if you live within half a mile of that plant, stay indoors, turn off your air conditioners, but there is no, I repeat, no need for evacuation, authorities tell us right now. The winds are from the west right now, about 6 miles an hour. Okay, that's good news. A couple of updates for you now vis-a-vis this leak at Allied Chemical. Number one, the wind is blowing. There are no inversions, so it's dispersing. We are now told by Allied Signal that it is indeed antimonium pentachloride. Now, we looked that up in our book, and we will tell you it's dangerous, but it's not as dangerous as we originally thought. It is listed as an irritant to the skin if you get close to it. It's also an irritant to the breathing. So it can be dangerous if you're close to it. For those of the people inside the plant, of course, it's a danger or in the immediate area. However, we have just been told that the shelter is listed, Donna.
Right. They had declared that everyone stay inside, close up, do not go outside and use your air conditioners. But this signal, the lifting of the shelter-in-place order, means that they feel they have everything under control, and it means that they don't think that it can harm people in the area.
I also want to point out that there is no fire danger from this particular leakage of antimonium pentachloride. It can cause problems, the irritation, but it's very difficult to make it explode, so that's the good news. There is no report of fire, and there is no report of any injuries so far. So what looked like a very, very serious story may be coming down pretty fast.
Less than an hour after the danger signal was issued for residents near Allied Signal in North Baton Rouge, authorities have sounded the all clear. No one needs to stay inside necessarily tonight. Let's go back out to the scene now where WAFB's Monty Danos is.
Donna, the situation is under control. The leak has been contained. Joining me now is Deputy Fire Chief Glenn Helminger. Glenn, what can you tell us about the leak, and what can folks can now expect from the gases that were escaping from the plant?
At this time, we at the Allied Signal Corporation at Chippewa and Lupine. The incident is stabilized. The leak has been capped. The shelter in place that Cal activated is now lifted. The roadblocks are still set up in all directions from the leak, and it will be for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll have a further update in the next few minutes.
Are the roadblocks mainly as a precautionary measure?
Starts at this time until we're absolutely sure, but everything seems to be under control.
Okay, there you go. Glenn Helminger, the Deputy Fire Chief with the Baton Rouge Fire Department, telling us everything is under control, Donna.
Okay, thank you, WAFB's Monty Danos.
Official update now on the leak from Allied Signal. They have decided now it indeed was antimonium pentachloride. The all clear was sounded 13 minutes ago at 10:26 p.m. You can now go outside your house. Traffic will be allowed into the area very shortly. This is just north of Capitol Lake, where Choctaw and Chippewa come together. And perhaps the good news, because earlier this evening when this all happened at 9:30, the winds were out of the southwest. Most of the leakage went over the Exxon plant and not over people's homes.